Welcome, everyone. This is Piney Noodles, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in LOTRO and here at LOTRO Players. And this week we have with us Ariandis.
Hey, everybody.
And Sanswinda.
Hello.
And please welcome our guest for this week, Cinders.
Hello.
Hello, welcome back.
Thank you.
And let's now head into our news for this week, where we had a little bit of an update.
Just maybe a little.
Yeah. And of course, this includes several things in there. We have they do talk about the seasonal instances, but we won't be seeing them until a little bit later when the summer festival starts on June 28th. That's in a little bit less than 3 weeks from now. We have the class updates, which I'm sure that we may hear one or two things about in here, though we have discussed some of them already in earlier episodes on what we were thinking was coming. And we have the continuation of the lay of Rust and Rhyme, where we have already had one episode come out on that, and we're expecting 7 more coming through there. But the biggest thing in here, of course, that have people talking are the class changes.
Yep.
And I was wondering, is there anything that anyone wishes to discuss about these that we haven't already beaten with a rod in earlier episodes?
If you're not aware of it, you might need to retrait your class. Your character when you log them in.
Oh, yes, that is important. I believe I recorded an episode of my Lore Master series going through there, and it wasn't until I started recording the episode after that where I realized, oh, I haven't retreated yet.
Oops.
Yeah, that was a level, I think I was level 51 at the time. So, yeah, there were a few points to trait in there. Good thing I didn't need my menagerie during that first episode I recorded after the update.
Right. So, if you play a champion, guardian, hunter, lore master, minstrel, or warden, you should, and you, especially if you log in and you're like, wait, my bars seem a little bit empty. Check your trait trees, because there is a nearly 100% chance that you will have to update the trait spending if you are over level 7, and have not done so already. So,
yep. I remember that joy with doing that on my wardens and my lore master. I haven't had a chance to do that on any other characters yet, but I suppose I will have a few going on in there.
Yeah, and we will have the update, the post patch notes. Goodness, if I could talk, it'd be wonderful. We will have this linked to where you guys can see it. I mean, there's a lot of changes on here, so if you want, specifics of what exactly has changed, I would suggest checking it out.
And Sans, how have you felt the Hunter has been working since you've had a chance to test it on live now?
Positives first. Positives first. The red line and yellow line are working beautifully.
That tells me where your complaints are going to be coming in.
No, seriously though. Red line is doing a lot of sustained damage. I know on the tab, if you're looking at it, reading it, trying to decide what to respec into, it says they do burst damage. You can pretty much ignore that. They will do sustained damage. And they are doing good DPS. It's comparable at least to what Blue has been doing up to this point. So, yeah, if you're a redline hunter, log in, spend your trait points, and have fun. Yellow line hunters' traps have been improved. They now increase in damage based on your physical mastery. And I believe the same is true of explosive arrow. And they are doing some nice damage. I actually, I haven't tested a only yellow line, but blue line heavily traded into yellow has been pretty fun. So, yeah, if you like the yellow line, you should also see good improvements.
All right.
As a blue line hunter primarily, especially with my little hobbit, I can totally see my high elf going, yes, I will sit here and shoot at things as they charge me heroically and see if I can kill them before they get to me. My little hobbit, not so much. I designed her, from level 6, I knew exactly what she was going to be. She was going to be a huntsman. A mid-ranged mobile harasser who excels at sustained damage while navigating the battlefield. This versatile build allows the hunter to kite and deal with more than a single enemy. And I said, yes, that's what I want to be. And for me, at least right now, with 88 points, I can kind of do that again. Minus the 30% speed. If I trait all blue, it is so stop and go and wait and there's not even a rhythm to rebuilding your focus right now in blue. It's just annoying. And I've line of sighted myself while kiting enemies in a circle. I am scared to log on any of my low level hunters and test it because going all the way down the blue tree, the only thing that kind of saves it is if you get that 10% chance for improved fleetness. And improved fleetness does not come until you've spent 30 trait points. So, yeah, there's a 10% chance for a blue line hunter to be able to move and shoot effectively. And that, in my opinion, is broken. With 88 points traded deeply, partially blue and deeply red, you can have enough focus and speed on your inductions to run around and alternate between inductions and focus shots, one focus to induction, one focus to induction, and that works fine. And it's putting out about the same amount of damage as a red line, on my build, which is admittedly geared to blue line, and always has been. So, I can't complain as much now that I have 88 trait points, but my low-level hunters are hurting, so.
Alright, so essentially you're saying that it's the worst effect then are on the low-level blue line hunters. Because if I remember correctly, I did read a message earlier today where the dev who was responsible for the hunter changes was saying that they should be better now at handling the camps in Mordor than they were before the update.
Well, they based this on the so-called survivability skills that they changed from red line into blue line.
Yeah.
I use this so-called, in quotation marks in the air that you can't see, because they only work if you stop completely for 1.5 seconds. Which for me, as a blue line hunter, I keep trying, and I'm like, okay, they say this is gonna help. Let me try it. Can't use that while moving. They say can't use that while moving. So you do 3 shots, hope that you've killed something, or maybe 4 shots if you started with an induction shot. And then you either kite around for a few seconds trying to get another shot off, or you've killed it and you've got to stop and use focus and stand there and wait and wait and wait, and then you've got enough focus to do 3 more shots. And or you can use that moment of waiting to use Press Onward. Press Onward is a nice heal now, which is good, but you can't use it while moving. You can't use... The only things you can use while moving in Blue Line are damage skills. And you still have that problem with Purge Poison, like you use it and you're stuck in place while it finishes animating. In my opinion, it did not improve my survivability, because by the time I've stopped and gotten off the Press Onward induction, I've already been hit over the head and killed. So, I disbelieve that Blue Line is actually any better. Blue Line heavily traded into yellow or red is better. But I think that has more to do with the changes to yellow and red line than changes to Blue Line, because I tried a line traded all blue with a little bit of the extra points scattered around and nothing. And then I tried changing how I scattered around the points and nothing. Just basically a sitting duck. So, well, a running around duck hoping that some other class comes and saves you. Mostly. So, yeah.
Okay.
Once again, you guys are getting the very, very calm Sans. When I got home from work, the day that these changes came out, she was ready to retire her little hobbit forever because she wasn't doing what she needed to anymore, and she was so sad that it wasn't working, and that she was taking 5 or 6 shots to kill mobs that she'd been able to one-shot before, and that she died a couple times. And we had better success on our light armor classes when we took them to do dailies than she'd had on her medium armor hunter. So she was very, very unhappy. And we finally got to where she was looking to see if maybe critical rating made a difference. We talked about how maybe that happened because we seem to be getting critical hits like every time we hit something. And I say we were in Fusham Toon doing these, and our light armor classes had no problem. And so she was looking at the critical rating and see if maybe that happened. And then the next morning she got to talk to another hunter who had more trait points. And after working together and talking about it a little bit, she decided to go back and do the deeds that she needed to or the quests, I guess is what it is, that she needed to do to get those trait points so that she could trait her hobbit to where it was closer to what she had anticipated. That's the only reason you see or hear Calm Sans. She was able to get closer, but she did have to do that trading, and it was painful.
Sans was almost retired every day this week. It has been that frustrating, and like, I would probably pick up another hunter who could run red or yellow and just mourn the loss of Sans, probably. But I think, at least for the moment, she's okay. Kind of bifurcated still, because she has to give up the speed to get the ability to shoot. Or she has to have the speed and lack the ability to shoot well. But she hasn't been retired yet, so hopefully they will do some more work on Blue Line and make it so that it can actually be a mobile harassment line, even if it's not doing the sustained damage promised by the trait line anymore. So that's my take on hunter skills.
Sorry it's been such a mess.
Thanks. Me too.
Hey, Pine Leaf, I
Yeah?
noticed that if it's okay if we kind of continue with this, I've noticed that
Please.
the Warden had a ton of changes. Now, I've never played a Warden, but have you had a chance to look at some of this yet? I'm just wondering, is anything as broken as the Hunter right now?
I've done some running of the Warden, a little bit in blue, a little bit in red. And the way I play, you gotta remember, is I am not exactly what you call your big top expert number crunching player. So that means that what changes? What changes? So,
Gotcha.
I am sure that the top wardens out there could give you a long list of things that changed and how they impact a warden or anything like this. But you're talking to someone who barely noticed the changes, who's playing the warden evolves over time. So therefore, even when they made the B class changes back at Helm's Deep,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice the stuff immediately. It took me a little time in order to do the adjustments and all that stuff. So no, I'm not one of those big number crunching wardens and all there. So has it affected things? Maybe, but can I tell you what the numbers are and how different it feels? Not really. Maybe I should see how long it takes me to do a capped skirmish. The problem is, though, the numbers I took when I last took strong numbers was just around the time Mordor was being released. And at that time, I've gotten better equipment. So I have other matters that will probably affect the numbers more than what was then. Because at the beginning, when Mordor was first released, it was like, okay, can I use a calendar to see how long it'll take me to do the skirmish?
Okay. I was just curious. I know that Warden is your specialty, so.
Yeah, but I'm not one of those people who knows the numbers deeply.
Gotcha.
And I have not yet made any significant changes to how I play the Warden, and I'm sure that there are some people out there screaming saying, but this changed, and this changed, and this changed, and this changed.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I haven't noticed. Yeah, anyone else have anything they wish to add?
Well, my lore master did get called OP this week by champion. So I'm going to say that my feeling that she has more power is probably accurate. Either that or everybody else's power was reduced enough that it was obvious that she could get quite a bit of stuff done.
Oh, since I've been mainly doing my lore master stuff on a level 50 range lore master, I was OP before the update. I mean, so therefore,
had mine called OP. So when Terry called mine OP, I was like, my shoulders, yep.
well, yeah, because my lore master going through the early Mirkwood stuff, yeah, I was definitely OP even before the updates in there. Because I'm sort of like walking through everything, and that's what it was ever since I got into Moria. And in fact, in many ways, that's how it felt throughout the entire series. And there have been at least one other set of changes, I think, over the time, one other set of changes since I started playing that lore master. And I don't think I've ever played that character. It's been on and off for 4 years now, where I haven't thought the character was a bit OP. Or I should say, no, actually, I take that back. I think I am doing a little bit more damage. It's just that the cat is so OP that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, I use my bear.
Yeah, you use your bear.
OP.
Yeah.
But she hasn't seemed as squishy even running through the Northern Mirkwood stuff as she did when she was in Mordor. And she's been back in Mordor doing her own independent dailies and has been fine, which really surprised me. So I'm like, either I'm getting good or the stuff actually was kind of helpful.
It could also be A, you getting better, B, your equipment getting better, and C, maybe they did make a couple of adjustments that helped you.
I don't know that I care enough to dig into it to figure out the
Well, yes, there
She's
is
OP. Let her enjoy it.
Yeah. Very well. Now, one other thing in here is they also, in the anniversary event, added a version of the scavenger hunt that is Eriador specific. Now, one thing I noticed while I was doing the anniversary hunt so far was that when I was doing year 2, which is the one for Sam, which one of the things that's in the main scavenger hunt for year 2 is the Eriador pub crawl. Well, since it was an Eriador pub crawl that could be done easily by a level 10 character, they didn't need a special version of the quest. Since they didn't have a special version of the quest, that means you did not have access to it if you're doing the Eriador version of the scavenger hunt.
Oh.
Because I only had access to the other 2 quests because it was only accessible by doing the main version. And I think you'd only... guess I could have tried talking to him and see what happened, but I don't think I could access... I would have been able to access year 2 without doing at least one quest from the full version at year 1. So therefore, I could not do the pub crawl because the regular one is doable, but you can't access the regular one without doing a year 1. At least that's what it felt like to me. Maybe I missed something. Because I was focused on doing the Eriador version, since that's the entire point of the series I started there. But I don't know if any of you have also tried that, but I do have that, and I think those are the major things that oh yes, they also did some changes in the looks of Breland.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the craziest one was when I was doing the scavenger hunt, and one of the quests, of course, was to go and kill Jagger Jack. So I'm going to Jagger Jack. I'm going from Coombe to the Blackwold headquarters, and I was saying, wait, where did this bridge come from? There is now a bridge leading to that you have to cross in order to get to the lumber camp. I don't remember there being a bridge here. So therefore, yeah, there are a few things that have been changing along Breland during this update. And I have heard that there are other parts of Breland that have also changed, such as the Barrel Downs and the Old Forest had some changes to it. And I've heard that there's now a connection between the Old Forest and the Southern Barrel Downs, which didn't exist before.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not too sure that would be a nice place in the Old Forest to go through in order to get there, but
But being able to get back and forth into the Old Forest or into the Barrows from more than just going into the North Barrows on that side would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that is...
Cosmetic musical instruments.
Oh, yes, that's right, because musical instruments now... Well, do they have a cosmetic slot for... Oh, that's right, because you could put it into your arranged cosmetic slot, I guess.
Yep. And they look pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, so now you could see the musician carrying them along, which would be really nice for those who are playing musicians at musical events. So now they could come on stage with their instruments.
And any role players, too.
And many role players and the like. So that should be... So I'm sure that makes a lot of people happy. certainly a lot less controversial than certain other changes in this update.
This one's a pretty awesome change. Even if I was confused on the first 2 times I logged in, Minstrel's going, wait, where did that club come? That's a cool looking club. She doesn't carry a club, and it's on the wrong side. What? That's a flute. She has a flute. And the other one, wait, what's that on her? What kind of instrument is she carrying? Oh, yeah, I guess I did give her that. That's huge. She's gonna trip herself as she runs. Oh no, it actually looks pretty good. So, yeah, it was fun.
Okay. And they also made some changes to the social panel, but I really didn't go looking into this. Did anyone really look at the changes to the social panel?
I noticed them immediately as soon as I opened it. I didn't look further than that, though.
All right, because I don't know if it improves things or makes. I'm sure there are some people complaining about it, but whatever.
I got to tell for the first time from a gold spammer who was level 1. So I don't know if the two are connected, but beyond that, boy. I haven't noticed anything that might be connected.
Here we go.
Well, don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know either. I haven't tested any of the features or the searches or anything like that, so.
All right, then let's head into our beacon for this week. And in the beacon for our top display, it looks like somebody enjoying the anniversary event. Is that?
I think
it would appear so. Or
where's Terry?
Spoils from it.
Yeah. So let's head into our community spotlight. And we made the top of that with the congratulations for our 5th year anniversary. Ooh. Yay! So we managed, and we survived the 5th anniversary show last week. And participated in DNC's 6th biannual housing contest, and there were more details for that. I don't know, is that still active? That's always the tricky things when they have their World Cup edition 625 to 7-1s. Whether they're talking about the Football World Cup or something else, I don't know. And then the Knights of the White Lady is celebrating its 11th anniversary on Saturday, June 9th, which was today. So therefore, it's celebrating with them. We'll be a little bit late on that. And the Lanterns and Nimbredeliant is celebrating their 1st anniversary with a special concert featuring the Anduin Ensemble on Saturday, June 16th on Landreval. And Lindemar presents E. Estelle Eden, The Hope Renewed, on Sunday, June 17th on Laurelin. And that is an Elven performance. So I'm just wondering, is this a concert presents a musical performance to capture the hope of elves felt in the hope of bright new future of the Great War ended. The Dark One was thrown into the void, and new kingdoms and realms were built in the Second Age. So therefore, it is a concert with Elven music. There it is, Sunday, June 17th, 2 p.m. server time at the Spira meeting in Rivendell. I guess that's the appropriate place to hold an Elven concert. And of course, remember, if you are interested in going there and you aren't exactly a high level, remember you could always speak to Gandalf in order to get a little help in getting to Rivendell. And as for our kin haul for this week, Marukati Selectives is a mature, experienced, active PvE kin on Evernight. They are focused on in-game T2 content, weekly raiding with a broad alliance of friends, and just having fun on TeamSpeak 3. Experienced players or those willing to learn and gear are all welcome. Send a tell to Esenia in-game for more information. And the name again is Marukati Selectives, and this is on Evernight. And here is our comment of the week. What is your most favorite item in the game?
Hope token.
Hope token.
I've been debating this for like 5 minutes now. Maybe not 5 minutes, but since I saw the comment a few minutes ago. But I think a hope token.
A hope token. All right. Let's see. Arendis?
Oh gosh. Well, when it says item, I'm not exactly sure what that means because that could be any number of things. But if it's just anything in game, I mean, the kites are really fun. The cosmetic pets are really fun. I don't know if I'm in the right vein here, but
that's true. I just decided that my pets were pets and not items, so I went with something else.
Yeah. If you follow that, I guess I would have to say the rally horns. It's always good getting all your friends together in one place.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that always is helpful.
I'm currently enjoying fireworks.
Oh, that's right.
That's my current favorite.
Yeah, that does help during the anniversary event. Fireworks are quite...
The dragon firework.
Yeah,
yes.
I was thinking about that when I first read this question. The dragon fireworks lends quite a bit of atmosphere when you are trying to do a celebration. And I think I will have to go with that for now until I can think of something better. Probably after the anniversary is over, I may come up with another idea.
Is there something better?
I don't know.
Fireworks that are dragons.
Fireworks that are
There is dragon, or Dragon.
Ooh,
it's
yes.
pretty nice.
Oh, and that pie that you can carry and just run around with a pie.
Wait, there's a cosmetic pie? What?
There is a cosmetic pie.
Where is it? Or how do you get it, rather?
Ooh, it's one of the quests in, it's a quest chain in, I want to say, Sand's Farm, is where you pick it up and you can run with it, and then you get the perfect pie is what it's called, and you can, carry a perfect pie around for like a minute. You can't carry anything else, but you can carry it around and nobody can steal it from you. You can even run by hungry hobbits.
Okay, guys, I'll be right back. You can continue without me. I'm just kidding.
Yep, right outside Mickle Delving.
That's awesome.
In our fan site news, Leonardus explores the changes made to Archit. So therefore, let's talk about, I haven't been to Archit yet. And that's right. They did talk about the changes I talked about when I was doing the patch notes. I talked about what I saw in the Chetwood, but I completely forgot about Archit having also had changes in there. I haven't been there since. So I'm going to have to visit Archit at some point. And Fibro Jedi continues his Warden series with episode 16, where he continues in the epic quest as he continues to level. And he was doing the stuff in the Lone Lands for that. And Gamolio Dan moves into Osfarad in part 108 of his Lord of the Rings Online series. Renaissance Gaming does some raiding with their Warden. And Elkanar continues their Let's Play LOTRO series with episode 65, Fires in the North. And this week's screenshot of the week shows someone looking out at the lonely mountain, and you could see also down there Dale in between.
That's an awesome shot.
Yes.
It really, really is. I was wondering where that was.
Yeah, and that I think that cloak goes perfectly with the scene.
Oh, it
It
does.
does.
And that was posted by Lovisa Berglund. So with that over with, let us head into our store sales. And Ariandis, what's on sale this week?
This week, we have a 20% off sale on Milestone Skills, the Hurry Traveler, Returning Traveler, and Expedient Traveler, Advanced Writing Traits, and Rally Horns, so go Rally Horns. The weekly coupon gets you a rapid crafting boost for 1 minute ×1 with coupon code CRAFT, so CRAFT, now through June 14th.
Yeah, and I did get a milestone cooldown reduction skill for 2 of my characters, 2 of the ones that I'm doing YouTube series for, since they tend to be wanting to transport to somewhere else pretty quickly sometimes. So therefore, yeah.
Especially in the first couple of volumes.
Yeah, in this case, one of them is the one doing the scavenger hunt, and the other one is the lore master that's in Mirkwood. And in Mirkwood, you do have a couple of cases where you might want to jump around. Especially since I'm skipping a lot of the side quests, and those side quests is where you get the rep that you need to unlock the swift travel, so... yeah. So let's head into our site news, and we'll begin with Squirrel, who has another in his series of 99 instances, one boss to rule them all.
Dragok made the list!
Yes. Essentially, these are your single boss instances, and the 3 most famous I can think of are, of course, the Vile Maw, where you have the Watcher in the water. Filico, which is, of course, the turtle, which is the only one of the... Well, okay, I've been in the Vile Maw, but I don't recall ever successfully finishing the Vile Maw. Or if I did, it was probably from a defeat screen as everybody else did it, if I ever did it. But I think most likely I've never finished the Vile Maw. Dragok, I know I finished that once, and I know I did see that finish from a defeat screen. And Finical is the only one that I have ever completed and lived through. And I have done that one on several occasions. And I believe I even was one of the code tanks on one of the times I've done it. So what's your experience on these single boss instances?
I think I've run them all, though I think I've only run Vile Maw and Filicool way over level, because the girls have gone in a few times, on the Girls of Middle Earth streams, but I think my characters at the time were in their 80s and 90s and 100s, on the different runs for that, so, they were really cool. But I know I didn't experience it as you would have on level. Dragok was awesome. I first experienced that while recording a LOTRO Academy show when Mortumbra and Terry Adwin told me to go meet Dragok and run straight in. I don't remember if Pineleaf said anything or if he just let it go. But they insisted that I should run straight in, and I'm pretty sure I finally said, well, and I ran straight in. And Dragok is awesome. And I've been taking people to meet Dragok ever since. And actually,
the most recent
Well,
addition to the Sans made them meet Dragok. But he was
Yeah.
cool.
well, my favorite meeting of Dragok, though, had to be with Bingo.
oh, and I haven't met him with Bingo yet. I need to do that.
Oh, yeah. How far have you gotten in Bingo?
I might have left him in Lothlorien.
Oh, you have got to go and pick him back up and resume your travels with him.
I mean, I helped him out of a dangerous predicament. Well, a few dangerous predicaments, but one unexpected one, and then, yeah, it was... I did something else. So I should go get him. But no, I did Dragok on level with a burglar, too, though. And that was a lot of fun with the Tolkien professor and a group that we got together, so...
Yeah, and that sounds like the group where I spent the last third of it in the gray screen while everybody else finished off the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I can't remember if I was there or if I was watching the stream. It was one or the other, but I remember that was a fun one.
So how much further do I need to take Bingo to get to Dragok?
Let's see, because so you said you're in Lothlorien, so that means after that you take him into Mirkwood, or I presume you haven't done the Mirkwood part yet, right?
No, not yet. So
Okay.
probably just follow the quest lines until you get to the area of Dragok.
Yeah, what's happening is you're going to go into Mirkwood, then you're going to go into the Great River. So in Mirkwood, the levels jump pretty quickly because they're going to take you from Mirkwood to the Great River.
Right.
So therefore, they have to bridge that
But
level gap in there.
assuming that I'm running this on my now level 115 character, that shouldn't be a big issue.
Oh, no, that won't be an issue at all. No, of course not. In which case, it being on your... I presume your 115 character has finished Volume 3?
I think so. Pretty
Okay,
sure.
good. Okay, because there is a section that comes up where I think the better version that you get is the one that if you finished Volume 3, they have a substitute thing to do if you haven't finished Volume 3. But I think the payoff is 10 times better if you have finished Volume 3.
So I
So
should make
therefore-
sure I finish Volume 3 first.
Yeah, double check that you're finished with Volume 3. But if you're 115, you probably have. That means you've been to Drowned, Isengard, and all
Hopefully.
that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So therefore, you will want to go. So you go into there. You go into Rohan, and once you go into Rohan, you then go, of course, into East Rohan. Then you go into West Rohan, and then from there, you travel from West Rohan into Dunland. So therefore, you go into Dunland after that, and that's when you don't have to worry about the levels anymore, or something like that. That's when you're starting the homeward journey, and it's when you're in Enedwaith on the return journey that Enedwaith or Dunland, whichever one has Dragok. Yes, that's right. It's so when you're going back in there.
Enedwaith, but you pick up the quest in Dunland.
Yeah, I think the same thing is true with Bingo, is that you hear about it about Dragok and all that stuff in Dunland. Then you go up into Enedwaith, and that's when you do the Dragok thing.
Okay. That sounds good. I'll have to try that.
Right. So therefore, and I would say the Dragok is probably third or fourth episode from the end of this series. So once
I've
you
got
do
a ways to
Dragok,
go.
you might as well finish that up.
Okay, good to know.
And with that, all right. Any other comments about Dragok, our turtle friend, or the Watcher? Then let's head into our 5th anniversary giveaways, where you have a chance of picking up one of several items. We have several items. I think Drac may have spoken of these last time, but we do have the giveaways up now. And the items are Mordor's Collector's Edition, 1950 LOTRO points, bardic fiddle, a lonely mountain fiddle, a sprightly fiddle, a traveler's trusty fiddle. So those are the 6 different entries. If you saw an entry and entered one where everything was all lumped together in one big giveaway, then you might want to go back in and check again with the revised ones, because that was an accident and those entries are being thrown away. The one that's official is the second attempt at it, where we actually managed to finally convince them not to combine everything. So therefore, there are 6 different raffles, each of them for one of those 6 items.
And there's a Patreon specific one as well if you're a patron.
Yeah, if you're a patron, there is also a Patreon specific one.
And these will run until June 19th, I believe it says.
That is right. This is until June 19th. It says 9 days left, but I guess that means 9 days and a little bit of change. And we also see that a few comments on there. All right, good. Then let's send it to our new player question. And inspired by Cinders, but I believe that Ariandis is asking the question.
Yes, Cinders was actually talking about this before the show, and so since we needed a question this week, thank you, Cinders. And also, I don't know how to do this, so if you come across a bug in-game, how do you report it?
Oh, yes. Reporting a bug. There is one of the commands that you have on the screen. You know, when you have all the commands, you have that little button on the lower left area with the caret on there. You press it, and you have the list of commands in there. One of them is help. If you click on help, one of the options they have is to report a bug. Now, the last time I attempted to report a bug, it was launching your browser and then going through the browser in order to do it. I think it
did that to me earlier this week.
So it's still doing that. Okay.
Yeah, because and it's been confirmed by a dev that it is a bug. But the Hunter's Interrupt blindside is doing the opposite of it's costing the opposite of what it should, because it's supposed to build focus and instead it's costing focus.
Yeah,
so really I reported it when I saw it because I was like, that is a big problem. There goes another skill that I could try to use to build focus, and now I can't. And it was still popping up another window for that browser window. So
yeah,
but it could be something I had in my settings, because I think I have my store popping up that way right now too on that computer. So.
Yeah, blindside. You would think that just at the time where you're starting to need more focus and stuff like this, they introduce a bug in blindside.
It's like, seriously, we can. Oh man, now you have to try to manage to have focus to interrupt them. Like, no, just run away. Like, by the time you get to the mob in red or yellow line, you'll be out of focus anyway, probably, just because of moving and losing focus. And in blue line, you might be out of focus anyway because you just don't have much focus. So
therefore, as you said, press the button and it brings up the stuff, and you enter your information. I think a lot of that stuff does get pre-populated with the current character that you're on.
Mm-hmm.
And then you enter the rest of the information, and you try to describe the bug as best you can. And sometimes that's easy to do, and sometimes... Now, it is best to report the bug at the same location where you see the bug. I know that's not always practical, because I know sometimes I don't realize it's a bug until later or something like that, or the bug kicked me out of an area or something like that. So therefore, it's not always possible. But if you can, for example, if you see a buggy item in the landscape that's something looks like it's wrong with it or something like that, if you're standing next to it, it helps because now they can pinpoint the location of the bug.
Got it.
And of course, they like to know things like your character and your class and stuff like that. But they generally pre-populate that if you are in game at the time you are reporting the bug, then it will pre-populate those fields. Answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Most definitely.
And does that pretty much sound right to you, Sans?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And there was instructions there too for how to find the location where you saw this bug if you're there and it didn't populate, so.
All right, then let's head into our week in LOTRO. And Cinders, what were you up to?
I actually ended up doing more things than I expected to do. Just a second, I'm leaving Z's behind again.
I've done that before. One of the joys of push to talk.
For sure. So the first thing that I did, just before the new class changes came out with this last update, was I went into the Atmores on my lore master and discovered that she needs some work. I did a lot. I did a bit of dying. Some of the people from Ploy were out and about, and I was like, oh, well, I might as well just run in and see what's going on, and, have fun running around because, you never know what's going to be like. So, I tried that, and I died a couple of different times. But one of the people in Ploy was on a monster character and was like, man, that was a really tempting target because your morale was so low. And I was like, it was like 68,000. Like, what's the big deal? Well, apparently anything under about, like 73,000 is really makes you a tempting target. So I got some helpful tips on what I need to do. I think it was Finn who was helping me, right, Sans?
Yep.
Yeah. So I got some tips on how to play my lore master better and how to better gear for the Moors, so that I'm not quite as tempting of a target next time I'm out there. And then I went on another unauthorized excursion into Erebor, on my 115 lore master. But she was very good. She did not do anything that would mess up her questing with Pineleaf and Sans on the characters that are going through Mirkwood together. But she did run around and kill some stuff with Terry and Pineleaf and Sans. And what else did I do? Oh, and I discovered she can do her dailies on her own. Both Minas Tirith dailies, which should, of course, be PCK because she's 115, but also the Mordor dailies, which she had never really attempted on her own because she was so squishy. So, yeah, she's been doing them on her own and been quite successful, and it really helps to let my bear tank. And how was your week?
My week was pretty light this week. I was actually not able to do anything besides patch the game. So,
oops.
Yeah, just one of those weeks. So hopefully next week will be a little bit more eventful on my end. Since Window, what did you do this week?
I went back and earned 6 trait points to try to fix Sans. So I went from 82 trait points to 88 trait points this week. And I'm so tired of grinding things. It kind of worked though. So yeah, she's kind of all right now, and I followed some really funny storylines. So, I mean, I'm glad I got to see the content, but I was really not happy while I was doing it because questing in gray areas and having to stop after every time you kill something to use focus or there was so much setup for each fight. It was just annoying. I have 6 straight points now. That's what I did this week. And on Thursday night, I decided that Speedy Leafy Feet was probably better than an attempt at sustained damage because I did not yet have my 6 straight points earned. And so I provided Speedy Leafy Feet to the group and was able to get a few shots off to support them as we ran errands for dwarves and a wizard. And it's probably the most useless hunter in history and maybe one of the most bitter. But the quests were interesting, and I got to meet this, so that was awesome. And I retraded my mini on the field trip without a red line, because I figured I'm running in a group, I wanted to see what yellow line would do. They made a bunch of changes, so I've got to redo everything anyway. I'll just run mostly yellow line in the melody stance. The middle stance, the green one, and see what happens. I'll do a little bit of damage, a little bit of healing. It's gonna be fun. I made a blue line just in case we got into a situation that needed healing majorly, because in that group I keep getting in trouble in instances for not healing. So I made a blue line. And then we got into a solo instance in which we had to fight a bunch of characters. And I had no red line. And I don't know how much money I had, but retrading in the middle of trying to fight wasn't going to happen anyway. So, yeah, that went about as well as might be expected. It was like 2 ballads for damage, Court of Salvation. 2 other ballads for damage. Oh, look, you can use some buffs. Court of Salvation. So yeah, that was interesting. She might get her red line back, but just to see if that helps. So, Pineleaf, how was your week?
All right, I'll begin with my lore master, where I started the wonderful task of escorting a certain prisoner through Mirkwood.
Oy.
But on the bright side, I was able to do the Danninglore skirmish during that time. And then I started scavenging through Eriador with my level 50 burglar. So that's starting out pretty well. Dusted off my burglar, and I've gotten through 5 years of it. And there are various different links because some of them were heavily in Eriador. So the ones that are heavily in Eriador, okay, I was able to do that without too much. They had a large number of items to do. But if you had one where there was only one item in Eriador, then there was only one item to do. That's, like, for example, with Boromir. Most of his stuff is later on. The only thing that was in Eriador was talking at the Spire meeting in Rivendell. So therefore, all you have to do is go to Rivendell, talk to the Spire meeting. Okay, done. And I think the other one that you had to do for that one is also only one item to do. Done. Well, some other, and of course, but Aragorn's Trifles, of course, was a bit longer because in order to do Aragorn's Trifles, you had to do 4 skirmishes, I think it was. I think it's 4, it's 3 or 4, that's right, it's Troll and Tuckborough, Prancing Pony, Thievery and Mischief, and Attack at Dawn. So therefore, yeah, 4 skirmishes needed to be completed in order to do that particular one. So that obviously would take a little bit longer. And then on my Evernight Warden, I walked into Rohan with Bingo Boffin. And since you'll probably soon understand what that was all about. And in my Thursday group, I had the pleasure of hearing this Gandalf.
Wait, can you say that again?
yeah. We had the pleasure of hearing this Gandalf because because you know how Gandalf can get sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let us just say that Dees isn't exactly Gandalf's biggest fan.
Okay, I couldn't tell if all three words were like the name of a band or
No.
I gotcha. Okay.
No.
Sorry. That's awesome.
We currently have 18 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join this illustrious rate of players and help support LOTRO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even be a guest with us for an episode of LOTRO Players News. Though, if you have any ideas for new Patreon rewards that we could add to our list, please send a note to Dracula at drek@lotroplayers.com. And this week we do have a featured comment from Bragg. And Sans Window, what did Bragg say?
Bragg says, "Congratulations to all of you excellent hosts, past and present, at LOTRO Players News on your 5-year anniversary from someone who knows, at least a little, what it takes. Can 5 years have passed so quickly? It's hard to believe that Pine Leaf has made 256 straight episodes without ever missing one. You do record on Saturday nights, correct? No funerals? No weddings? No illness? No travel? No blackouts? No birthday parties even? Wow! His commitment is unquestioned. It kind of makes me wonder what would happen if he was not there. Hopefully we will never know. Cheers. Bragavilla, host of Light the Beacons."
It is confirmed. Pine Leaf is more dependable than the U.S. Postal Service.
I believe that there were 2 occasions where we had to record on a different night because a lot of people weren't available or something like this. But yeah, the vast majority of them have been recorded on Saturday nights. And we also have an email from Bro Longshot who writes, "Just wondering which is the best race for a Guardian to be. Thanks, Bro Longshot."
Whichever one you like?
Yeah.
I prefer my Hobbit.
Just because of how preposterous it could seem sometimes. You got this little Hobbit going, yeah!
Well, it's kind of like Sanswinda's Sanswinda. Hobbits are just so much fun with the way that they emote and the way that they move. I mean, and they're just teensy tiny.
Yeah.
And it's so fun to watch them. Yeah, that's my favorite for Guardian.
I mean, there might be some class bonuses that might be good to consider, like maybe, or some race bonuses, like maybe a sword bonus or something like that. I think at least 2 races have it. And I think Race of Men has Duty Bound, which is often requested in raids, but I don't know how much difference that makes specifically to a Guardian, and whether or not it outweighs something else. If you really liked something else, I think you might as well play it, but...
Yes, Mary Rose Morningstar says, "Playing my Hobbits makes me smile after a tough day at work."
Exactly.
Right, I think that sort of all makes sense. And yeah, I say the Hobbit, and strangely enough, even though I did say earlier that sometimes it feels like preposterous having this little Hobbit being a guardian for this group where most of the people are much larger, you do have the case where the Guardian is generally thought to be based on Samwise Gamgee, who's a Hobbit. Though, of course, he doesn't claim to be a Guardian. He says, "No, I'm not a Guardian, I'm a gardener."
Well,
if you
one
yeah.
other thing. The dwarves always sound like they're having fun when they're fighting. So,
They really do.
Oh yeah, they enjoy fighting. The only thing they don't enjoy doing is being quiet.
true.
Barakazad.
Neither do the high elves, though. They yell a lot too.
Well, yeah, I guess they do that. You would think that they would have worn out their vocal cords after a couple of thousand years,
Right?
but apparently not. If you would like to send us an email, you can send it to podcast@lotraplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance @PlayersAlly, LotraPlayers @LotraPlayers, Ariandis @Ariandis, Pineleaf @Pineleaf Needles, Sandwinda @Sandwinda, and Terry Adwin @Terry Adwin. And you could reach our guest senders at Emeralina. Emeralina? How do you say that, senders?
I usually say Emeralina. She's my little hobbit guardian. And she was intended to be my main character, but got replaced by an Ariad character. Well, I figured out what I was doing because I really wanted to be able to play with Sans. Because Sans is one of my most favorite people. So.
Aww.
being able
Sorry,
to
I'm
play with
done.
her was really, really important.
Yeah. The Players Alliance has 4 live shows. Every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have DDO Players News. Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have LOTRO Players News. Every other Thursday at 9:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have XP Quest. And on the first Tuesday of each month at 9:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Chromatic Bits. You can join us for our shows at LotraPlayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Pilot Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.